it started with probably the worst day of my life, which was the day that we got rained on. The first day we had to build shelter. We're supposed to start a fire. We weren't able to start a fire, and then, we got rained on the whole time. And that night was the most miserable day of my life ever. And I've had 4 children, and I literally said to myself, I'd rather have 4 kids all over again versus having that experience. I don't know how everybody else did it. I mean, obviously I got through it, but I literally thought I was gonna die and get like hypothermia. And it's just, I don't know if it's because, my body fat percentage is way lower than everybody else, but I literally was just freezing to death. Everybody was able to tell stories and still joke around, but like, if you watched me, I was just quiet and just in my head so much, like trying to talk me out of it. But the whole thing was that in my mind, I was thinking, if the other people are here, then I need to be here. And, if it happened a couple more days, I might have just said, oh, like, send me home. But, with that being said, because the first day was so traumatizing for me, it made every day after that a lot easier to get through. And, just getting to know people was a great experience. It not only enlightened me a lot more about myself, but like about other people's feelings too. In my life at home, I'm usually just like, I make all the decisions. I basically, what I say goes. I don't ask anybody for permission, and I'm more direct. Whatever I say goes. And unfortunately, it didn't work that well for me. For some people like Ken, who's a lot more sensitive. Usually, I do get along with men more, so I did attract more of the men in my tribe. But unfortunately, with him, he was a little sensitive, and instead of him thinking that I was delivering information to him, he thought that I was trying to tell him what to do. However, in my grand scheme of things, I still thought, hey, these are where the numbers are going, so come with me. But he took it as nobody tells me what to do. So what I've learned, from that is, you just need to remember who you're speaking to. And I had this in the back of my head before, even in my businesses, like whoever I'm dealing with, I need to talk to them differently. But I think there's so many elements and variables going around here with, being cold, wet clothes, and no food, and just a bunch of people together, different personalities. It's so hard to so quickly like assess it all and be able to work with it. You just revert back to your old self. And even though you tell yourself, I came here thinking, okay, don't be so controlling, because that's my weakness and my strength. However, it happened again. So it's almost like you need to just keep practicing it to be a different person. And that's like probably my big takeaway from here is just to remember that everybody's not the same. Don't expect everybody to understand the way you're communicating with them. You need to communicate with them the way that they need to be communicated to. I mean, I'm proud of how I played, because I wasn't really trying to do it maliciously or anything. And a lot of it was the steps that happened. The people that got voted off were the ones that I was going for anyway. And so that was about to happen. Even with Jessica, 6 people, or I forgot, 5 or 6 people were voting for Jessica. So I felt like, okay, that was communicated. So every vote that went out, initially I was like, okay, that's how I want it to go. And, I played how I play. I didn't play like under the radar. I did my strategy, I did my thing, and I felt like I did the best I could, like for a first time around, because again, it's not like I got a lot of votes to vote me out. I basically like 2 votes when there was still, 8 people or 7 people. What I would do different, I think, goes back to what I was talking about, is just really just getting to know people and what their needs are and their personalities and how to speak to each person differently. If you can take me being a little more blunt with you, I will be, because people appreciate that too. They don't like beating around the bush. If I see that you're sensitive, which we knew that from Ken in the beginning, that's why I'm like shooting myself, then I would be more sensitive with you, because he's a very please and thank you type of person. And so I think the ladies, you know, trusted me because we would talk about relationships and mom. So I think I played that card pretty good, you know, with being a mom, soccer mom, all that stuff. But I just went wrong with the sensitivity, which is what I'm lacking in, is sensitivity. So I would be a little more sensitive to people's, you know, needs and, you know, all that and how I speak to them. But I wouldn't change the way I played. So I would have, again, maybe the only difference this time around, I might have said, hey, Ken, if you don't agree with it, tell me who you would like to vote for. Because that could have changed. Because we had, you know, we could have voted differently as well with just the communication. I think for me it's just so crazy because I put so much pressure on myself to be the everything person, like the athlete, the mom, whatever I can do, I'll just, okay, yeah, I'll do it, I could do better, you know, and sure, I'll help you, and I never say no. And like even working out, I can't even just work out just for fun. I have to make it into like this competition thing now. So then when I do go work out, it's no fun anymore. It just becomes so intense, and everything is just so intense in my life. And I just want to be like, no, I can do this just for fun. You know, I don't have to be so strict. And I think that's what I need to do, is just figure out a way to just have fun, and not everything has to be so like, okay, now you lift weights, now you're gonna be this bodybuilder. You know, like now you like to run doesn't mean you have to go like get a 3-hour marathon. You know what I mean? But that's the way I've always been brought up. My survivor experience is just letting go. Let go of, you know, the things in your life that hold you back, you know. And if you can detect those things that hold you back, which I do, is just let it go, you know, a little bit at a time. And then you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you'll actually be able to breathe a little bit more. And then, you know, hopefully for me, it's just like having more love in my family.